Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another stream here on the Den of Nerds Live. We're going a little bit later today, and this will be the full spoiler stream discussing Marvel's What If Episode 1. We did the watch party last night. We have a breakdown video on the regular channel already, so go check that out if you want sort of my first reaction, succinct kind of thoughts in the early morning as I watched the episode. But as I said in that video, I enjoyed the episode. I liked it. I thought it was a very good start. However, I can fully acknowledge that not all the Marvel fans absolutely loved this episode. And so, that's totally fair as well. That happens. That can be a thing. I want to talk about why that might be happening, why certain fans might not like it as much. We'll get into some of the complaints that people have. And yeah, it's look, it's one of those situations. I'm really interested in how the show's going to perform moving past this first episode. I think that while this was a very good episode, it didn't nail it, I think, in the way that, it's yet to be determined, right? It's going to shake out a little bit, but it's possible that it didn't nail it the way that they wanted to set up episode 2 and beyond to be really, really fun. Now, Marvel did show 3 episodes, pardon me, to the press and to different scoopers, insiders, and YouTubers and whatnot out there, okay? And so that is intentional. They did that with these other shows as well, a sort of chunk to really give you an idea of what is coming. And I do want to say to people that didn't love this episode, for whatever reason, that by episode 3, I do feel as though the show will sort of evolve into its next stage, and you'll start to see some of these characters drawn together in a more ongoing story, and not just little one-offs here and there. That's my guess. That's my anticipation. I'm not 100% certain. But, we have the poll up right now just asking if people loved the episode. And the reason I wanted to ask that question specifically is because I think it's fair if you didn't love it. And really, like, the way things kind of go these days is it's like you either love it or it's, kind of forgettable and okay. Like, that really does seem to be the metric where it's like, look, I'm not saying everybody hates the show, but if, like, a lot of people are indifferent to the show or they felt like it was kind of meh or they didn't love it, then in some ways it's not really fully accomplishing the thing the show needs to accomplish. So I want to get in that and discuss it, and I'm really interested. I am really interested or what you guys are thinking. I want to do a lot of Q&A, just kind of hang out in the chat with you guys and see what you guys think. So, don't be shy. Vote in the poll. Let us know how you're feeling about the episode and all of that. Now, a couple of different things before we get into the chatting of the episode. A couple of things I want to talk about. Number one, I will be on Normies to Nerds tonight at 7 p.m. That's Kendall Davis's YouTube channel, Nerdvenger Kendall. And we're going to be talking about What If then as well. So, we'll, like I said, I'm really interested in just kind of seeing what the internet says over the course of this day, because there's a lot of people that still haven't even watched the episode. We'll see how it trends throughout the day. We'll see if any interesting discussions pop off on Reddit, Twitter, or whatever for that episode. So, perhaps Kendall and I will be talking about some of that tonight and just going over, I think, really the future of What If. So make sure you check that out tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll post about it on the Twitter. We'll post about it on the Discord, etc., etc. And then, yes, what you're looking at right here is our merch for What If. It is inspired by the What If series. We're doing this fun thing where with every new show or movie or piece of content, we're going to have an exclusive piece of merch, a design that you can only get while the show is on the air. So if you're going to be hanging out in the watch parties with us, if you love What If and like that's going to be like your thing, check out the What If merch that we have in our Teespring store right now. This is the design with Watch Party Thor. I think it's super fun. And again, if you're a Nerdvenger member, you do get the 20% off. So make sure you take advantage of that. We'll post that coupon code on the community tab and also on the Discord later for people. Okay, so just in general, I'll kind of go over again. So there goes the camera. Chet, what are you doing? I'll kind of go over my my overall thoughts and my take on the episode. Let's start with what I think many people, or at least initially, the problem that I'm seeing many fans have, and I'll sort of talk about my feelings about it, why I just don't agree. Look, it's different strokes, different folks. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's different strokes, different folks. But for me, it's not exactly lining up the complaints that are out there, and I think the functionality of this first episode. So one of the biggest complaints is the pacing of the episode, that it went super fast. It just ran through the various plot points of Captain America, the First Avenger, and it more or less just goes real quick through that, and we don't spend a lot of time with these characters and in that what if world, right? In her particular universe. That is one of the complaints. I get that. I find that, it's fair. I feel so strongly the opposite, though, which I'll get into in a minute. But that is kind of out there. And then the other complaint, which I'm starting to see kind of brought up more and more in the morning today, and we'll see again how that goes throughout the day. The other complaint is that it's actually not crazy enough. Now, this one I can actually get into a little bit more. I can understand this complaint particularly a little bit more. It doesn't go as crazy as maybe it could have. And when you're thinking about Star-Lord as a friggin' Ravenger, T'Challa as Star-Lord and a freaking Ravenger, right? That is like wild. And some of the stuff we might begin to see in some of the other what if characters, like that's going to really push the envelope. And I think that it's fair to say that the Peggy Carter character, that Captain Carter, essentially just pretty closely sticks to the plot of what you get in the first Captain America, the First Avenger movie. However, let's start with sort of that argument first, right? To me, I don't know if I can totally dig into that, because Captain America is an earthbound character, and that film is really grounded. And even though you've got the crazy Hydra stuff, you've got the crazy occult stuff, you've got some of that fun flavor, and you've got the old-timiness, it really is a movie and a story that's relatively grounded, right? Even having Steve Rogers in a giant mech suit, which, by the way, it kind of seems like Howard Stark is better at making these freaking suits than even Tony, because that thing, for the time, was not only able to run off of an Infinity Stone, but it was damn near indestructible. That was pretty wild. To me, that development and some of the craziness that happens with, perhaps, which we'll get into, one of the many angled ones, maybe Shuma, maybe one of the other ancient ones. We will talk about that. To me, that is really as crazy as you can get with this particular story before you just completely lose the threads that connect it to that film, right? Just like in Phase 1, Feige's whole plan was simply to get audiences to accept certain concepts, accept certain realities within this world. I think What If in and of itself has a similar task. It is there to establish the sort of variant realities that we're going to enjoy and how connected they are to the OG stories and the things that we know. And so just like Phase 1 kind of plays it a little bit safer, it's kind of establishing this concept, and then Phase 2 opens it up a little bit. Really in Phase 3 is when it really cracks it open, right? I feel like that's similar to what they're doing with this animated show. We're getting here's what's crazy to me, is like, it's episode 1, and me, conceptually, I feel as though it's super obvious that this was going to be and I say this with all like the love in the world for the episode, this was going to be the worst one. Like, as far as the wildness, as far as the story, as far as all that crazy, like, this was going to be the one that's sort of our bridge into this whole concept and world. And it's Captain Carter, the most earthbound version variant thing, right? It's like they obviously designed the show to get even more crazy as time goes on, to get even more wild, which again I think mirrors the model the MCU had. Okay? So for me, like, I don't know, like, that's a weird, I don't agree. And that's fine. Nerds can feel differently about these kind of things. But for me, like, nah, man, like, this was such a fun, familiar, but different, like, slice of that flavor that we got in the first Avengers. And I think it does a perfect job of establishing Peggy and really reminding you, like, why Peggy is in many ways deserving of the power in the same way that Steve was. It's not that she's like this crazy warrior or whatever. It's that she's a good person. That's the merit that she has, right? So I felt like in that regard, it was good. Now, the other complaint out there, right, about it being too quick, man, that's a really weird one for me as well, because to me, it's like, again, going into this episode, it's almost like I went in with the full acknowledgement that this was going to be the weakest episode, that this was just sort of the lobby or the mud room into a glorious palace of insane multiversal craziness. Even Peggy herself and Captain Carter, it's where she goes from here that's going to be the most interesting part. It's where the character, like our journey with the character, sort of now begins. And the first episode just serves to get us there. And I felt like it's even when I was rewatching it, like grabbing clips for the edited video, I found myself being drawn in and just sitting back and watching. I think it's infinitely watchable. I think it really strikes a nice balance with that nostalgia feeling and the desire for new, kind of mixes and stuff like that as well. So to me, I felt like it's very, very good for the first episode, and it definitely leaves you wanting more, but it's like, dude, we definitely know we're getting more, getting a lot more crazy. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my thoughts on just the I guess criticisms of the episode, at least the legitimate ones that I think are out there, and just sort of my feelings. But again, you can feel however you want to feel about the episode. I think for some fans, they were like, it's just not crazy enough. It's just not MCU enough. It didn't go over the top for me. And that's totally fine. You know what I mean? That is fair and fine. But for me, I thought it worked. Now, let's talk a little bit about the animation. I talked about this in the breakdown video that I did, but especially like watching the episode again, and I've watched it on, this screen here. I've watched it on the OLED out there. Man, this animation's really good. It's better than I thought. I think some people, including myself, were a little bit concerned. It's cell shaded. It looks hyper stylized. The voice acting we heard could have been clunky, and maybe that's because of the animation. So there were some concerns for me personally. How well is this animation going to allow these stories and characters just to translate into my brain? And I made the point in the video prior that Star Wars, this is one of the things that Star Wars does really well and better than Marvel, which is a rare thing to say, right? But this has to do with Dave Filoni. One of the things Star Wars does well is with its animated shows, you can get brought in, especially if you're a hardcore fan, you can get brought into that world and that environment and that story, and you forget it's animation. You're just experiencing a Star Wars story. The medium kind of disappears, and you just are totally enveloped into that world, and it feels familiar, feels Star Wars. There's no big disconnect there. I feel as though this animation style with What If, which I do think could get better. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's flawless. I don't think it's perfect. I don't think it's like, I want to see this as the animation style for every project ever forever. No, I think it needs to get better. But it's way better than I thought it was going to be. It's fluid. It carries the action really well. Like, the action looks really cool, particularly the explosions, I feel, look amazing in this episode. The explosions are really cool. The beam weapon that Iron Man, or Iron Steve blasts with, I thought that looked amazing. The particles, the lighting, the fluidity, so cool. Can't wait till we open this bitch up with like Thor and Doctor Strange and magic and webs and zombies and all this other stuff that's going to come. I'm so interested to see how that stuff looks in this particular animation style. So for me, man, there were some questions about that. Solid. Like, solid. I think it works well in the action side of things. I think it works well in the dialogue side of things. I was surprised at how well I thought the dialogue, particularly between Peggy and Steve, was done. It feels natural to me. You know what I mean? And hats off to the dude that voiced Steve Rogers. With some of the main A-list talent not coming back to do their voice work, you do require great voice actors to really step up their game and embody a character and embody a voice that's familiar. And I felt like that dude did awesome. So overall, on the animation slash production side of things, I'm here. I'm here for it. I really like it. As a Marvel fan, I think it hits that Marvel level. I'm excited to see where we go from here, and more Marvel stuff animated in this style. I'm down. You know what I mean? I'm down. And again, like I said, I think they can actually improve it as well. Like, I'm not saying like it's perfect right now. It should get improved. Yeah. So let's talk about the MCU connective tissue. Now, in this regard, I do feel as though the episode was pretty light. But again, we're taking this character forward, and this character is going to seemingly play a big role in bringing together these other characters, doing the live action thing or whatever. The biggest difference here, the biggest sort of hint towards crazy multiversal stuff happening, has to do with Schmidt summoning whatever that creature was at the end of the episode. Okay? To me. So, yeah, hats off to Josh Keaton, indeed. Let's check out this Comic Vine article here and sort of take you through what I think was going on with that particular creature and what it means for the MCU moving forward. First of all, let's look at this image right here. I mean, this just in general looks visually very similar to what we saw, okay? Now, at first, I was like, dude, is it one of the many angled ones, or is it Shumagorath? To come to find out, or at least according to this article, and, you know, I need educated on this, that Shuma is one of the many angled ones. Okay, so what are the many angled ones? Well, it says here, they are a race of primordial cosmic entities that inhabit the spaces between realities. Legend has it that they are memory echoes of the nightmares that plagued the first demons. The many-angled ones are also the first species in both recorded and unrecorded history to actually grow rather than come into existence as a predetermined size, and are one of the few races that have no growth limit. Their name is derived from the methods they use to fill and consume the realities they manage to enter and take control of, which requires that they readjust the so-called etheric angles of harmony and rewrite the base code of reality to suit their needs. By doing this, they can spread whatever portions of their immense multidimensional bodies that are capable of wedging into a 3 to 4 dimensional plane of existence without accidentally destroying it. Once they have made themselves comfortable, they slowly but surely begin to consume the conquered reality and fill it with life pollution, which causes all life within that reality to grow unchecked until finally life becomes like a deathless, sentient, cancer-like eldritch abomination. So far, only the 4 masters and the few lesser many-angled ones have been named, and out of all of their names, only one is clearly recognizable, even if the form he takes in the Cancerverse is not. So that would be Shumagorath, right? So Shuma's one of the old ones, Kith, Yacht Solder, Nether blah 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 blah. So it kind of seems like that's what was going on. That's really, really interesting to me, and potentially something that we could see carried forward in different mediums. I mean, Shumagorath is the big rumored villain for Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness, right? And so it's possible that this is just a little bit of a hint of what is to come and how that could all work. And in this episode, Red Skull says he wants to summon this champion from beyond the stars, which implies that it could be one of these things that's hanging out between realities, right? Perhaps an effect of what happened with Loki and how everything is sort of branching and breaking off from here. So kind of fun. I think pretty freaking awesome, and a fun little Easter egg as to what comes next, or as to what will come next. You know, other than that, though, guys, we don't really get much in the way of a big, wider, story, the connection to the MCU specifically, other than the lines that Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher talks about, because he's our narrator for this episode and for this concept and for the show, but he's also someone that I think we're going to actually tangibly meet in this show and have something to do with what happens moving forward, In this iteration in the MCU, it looks as though Uatu is not just watching Earth, but he's watching the multiverse. He's tasked with watching all of these different things, but he can't interfere. If you know anything about Uatu in the comics, he always interferes, right? He's like, oh, man, I can't interfere, and then he interferes over and over again. So with those two things in mind, that is sort of the connection wider, where we go from here. And I did think, though, it's really interesting that Peggy is, for all intents and purposes, going to be an Avenger with Hawkeye, at least Nick Fury. We don't know what that full cast of Avengers looks like, but we have seen some things from the trailer that indicates that reality that she's from is going to be the same reality that, some of these other characters are coming from as well. So maybe the T'Challa Star-Lord situation, maybe the Party Thor, maybe those characters, because we've seen that Avengers shot, right, where they all like turn around, like that classic Avengers shot, and it's a lot of those characters. Are they the ones that Peggy's going to hang out with next? Could be. And then are they then going to be tasked with going through the multiverse and helping out with some meeting with 616 Strange? Who knows? Who knows? But that is one of the aspects of the episode that I think was limited. And I could see if you were a big fan looking for that juice, it wasn't necessarily obvious that that's the direction they're going in. It's not something that the show is necessarily hanging its hat on. And so I can understand why some fans would be like, not good enough for me. Not good enough for me. I need Peggy Carter to come into the MCU and punch Thanos in the face at the end of that movie and everything to be rewritten like that or something to that degree, right? So I totally understand that. Chet, fix the camera. Fix it. Thank you. And yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts, guys. That's my first sort of my blurb on it, my initial take, as well as the things that I've thought about over the past couple of hours. And after watching it a couple of different times, again, I'm solid on it. Here's what I'll say. For me, 8, maybe 8.5 out of 10. But it's like an 8 that it's like it's an 8, but it's an 8 that I'm like super happy because I think it sets up like 9s and 10s and a crazy thing that we're going to enjoy after this. So that's kind of where I'm at. I now want to open it up and just talk to you guys about it, hang out in the chat for a little bit. I will go over the super chats. If you do have some loot and you want to support the channel, support the content, drop a super chat in. You get some of that juicy nerd coin that everybody's after and everybody's desiring. So we give a little bit back to you guys as well. And nerd coin has a very fun future in our metaverse plans and things of that nature. So consider checking that out. And yeah, we'll get into some of the super chats, but I also want to hang out in the chat. If you don't have any loot, honestly, do not worry about it. Times is hot out there, and we get it. So let me try to pull this up. I'll go through the super chats real quick here. And I'm curious, man. I'm really curious as what you guys think. And if many of you are like not feeling it, right? Dude, don't be shy. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know why you're not feeling it. This is not a place to be judged. You know what I mean? This is a place to put your opinion out and nerd venge. And then, yeah, if you don't agree with me, I'm gonna judge you super harshly. You know what I mean? So just, get ready for that as well. Man, YouTube, you're doing so much and you're doing so well at adding all these fun things in, but this one screen broke, bro. This one screen broke where your other screen was broke, and I couldn't even get to the super chats, and I had to go to the workaround screen. Well, now your workaround screen is broke, dude. Like, what are you doing, YouTube? Holy shit. Okay. Well, we'll get into as many of the super chats as I think we can, dude. YouTube, you're so fucking horrible. Anyway, Sozu Sozin is the first one I can see. Smashing the homies. Thank you so much for the support, my man. Emo Joe says, bruh, chill. Josh versus Rage Josh debate on the main channel. Do it. We all want to see your personalities collide. Yeah, that could be really fun, actually. I think that's something we talked about yesterday, right? Last night, we were like, yeah, we could do that. That'd be kind of fun. Doing a take where it's like the rage version of me freaking out about stuff, and then the calm version of me. You know, I'm into something like that. That could be fun. Thank you for the support. Let us see. And I did have to turn the air conditioning in this office on. Sorry, everybody. I know it's not very professional, but my forehead's sweating. You know, can you see the perspiration? It's hard. It's a hard life. You guys don't understand. Like, just streaming, doing videos, talking about all the things you love all the time, just hanging out in a chill-ass live stream with the homies every morning. Dude, my life is really hard, and you guys don't understand. John Van Gelderand Jr. says, I wasn't as hyped for this episode because it was advertised so much. What hypes me more are the episodes we don't know much about. I think that's totally fair, bro. That's totally fair. Like, you can't argue with that. Where we're headed and some of the unknown things could be really, really interesting. Like the zombie episode and zombie Peter Parker, that has me absolutely fascinated. And that character, okay, here's what I think is going to happen, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. What I think might happen is the Peggy's Earth will have its own set of Avengers, and then those Avengers are going to go throughout the multiverse, shutting crazy stuff down. You heard it here first. That's what I'm saying. That's what I think is going to happen. Someone said Josh is literally getting sweaty. Yeah, indeed. Let's see here. Michael Smith says, Joshua, with Loki and What If, is the boner hole tightening back up? Not going to lie, for content like this, bend me over, Marvel. Oh, my God. I will say that, yeah, I mean, so, you know, the boner thing I thought was egregious. But again, there is a out for them if they have a plan with that character. If they have something planned with that character and it ends up being real, real chill, then, you know, maybe I'll be able to forgive it. That would be really, really fun. And regardless, it was probably just a funny little thing they thought would be trolly or whatever. It really wasn't. So, no, I'm not over the boner. But Marvel's content, I mean, Loki was fire. Loki showed me that they're back on track, that this is the new plan. Michael Waldron energy is fucking awesome. Like, I love that Rick and Morty shit, and I'm so here for it. So, that's really dope. And What If, we're one episode in, so it's hard to, like, make that call, but I'll tell you, like, if we're, like, when we get 4 or 5 episodes in, and I'm just, like, sitting there, like, giddy as a schoolgirl, and I'm just like, dude, this is so cool. And honestly, I want the toys. I want the What If toys. This feels like such a fun change of pace from everything else that's going on in the MCU. I am here for it. I think it's something I personally needed as a fan, so I'm excited. And yeah, things are improved, much better. Renee says with a $10 holla, haven't watched yet, but does the episode explain the Watchers? Because of the wasn't a multiverse before, how were the Watchers? Like, how were they even in Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Don't tell my wife about this, and take my money. First of all, thank you so much for the support, brother. And I think that's a good question. There were a couple of question marks about the episode. How does it work with the TVA? I think that, and I think they will explain this over time, but I think the TVA is not going to pop up in that universe. And again, this is a hard thing to explain, but Loki exists. Like, you could think of it as chronologically existing in a certain time and place, and you could think that the Infinity Saga itself was curated by He Who Remains, and after Loki, there is no more curation, and whatever's going on with that TVA is totally different than what was happening before, and they don't prune things a la the multiverse is out of control. So I think everything from here on out is now post-Loki, post-singular TVA, or at least post-TVA that can prune realities. So now we're in this spot where all bets are off. And the TVA, that's really interesting. And maybe we won't even get a full answer on how that's going to work until Loki season 2. But bros, and I think I'm going to do a solo video on this later, there's a big rumor out there that Loki, Tom Hiddleston Loki, will be in Secret Invasion. Dude, what? What is this Secret Invasion show? You know what I mean? And, like, why is Loki in there? And is Loki going to be now the new, like, Nick Fury of tying everything together, leading to this multiversal thing? That would be freaking fun, man. But no, the episode does not explain the Watchers, bro, unfortunately. Slow-Mo says, with a $5 holla, did recreating the super soldier serum create the zombies? Was Steve patient zero? The What If zombie episode. Thoughts? It's possible that's what happens. Maybe. Ooh, that would be kind of fun. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's particularly going to be connected to any one thing. Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing how that will all work. You know, it could be a Spider-Man thing, too. It could be something that happened with Spider-Man. Who knows exactly? But I don't know. If those are super soldier zombies as well, like, dude, zombies are already a big problem. And if you're talking about some freaking super soldier zombies, that's like a double problem. Let's see here. Eric D says for the $5 holla, was it just me or was Peggy way stronger than Cap Rogers? Loved the episode. Maybe? I don't know. I didn't really get that vibe. Are you just saying because she, like, crushed the Jeep over her or whatever? No, I think Steve could absolutely do something like that, especially because, like, if the tank is moving at a lot of speed, then you don't. It's not like you're recreating. It's not like you're stopping it, lifting it up, and throwing it the other way. You're kind of letting its own momentum and velocity carry it over you. So, I mean, technically, even if she just stood her ground, it would flip over her, right? So, I don't think so. They made her incredibly strong for sure, but I didn't think she was all that much stronger than Steve. That's just my take, though. Mike says, for the $2 holla, it's the MCU exiles. Bro, I think you're right. I think that's what it is. It's the MCU exiles. And I personally am freaking here for it. I like it. I'm excited about it. Let's hang in the chat. Peggy started out stronger. She wasn't weak to start with. That's totally fair as well. That makes sense. I don't really think she's that much stronger, though. Cap took on a huge Hydra tank. Peggy took on a regular tank. She leaped over a whole castle? Did she really? When did that happen? When did she leap over a whole castle? I have the episode pulled off. Give me a time code. Or I have the episode pulled up. Definitely don't remember her leaping over a whole castle. I wish we got more of an explanation for that sword, though. You know what I mean? Also, I think she took more super soldier serum as well. Oh, are you talking about that big, like the... You guys are so wild. She jumped over a castle. Shut your mouth. She definitely did not jump over a castle. What kind of ridiculous ass shit is that? Leapt over a castle wall. The sword was Nazi decor. That's true. But I wish it was cooler than that. Like, I wish it was some other crazy fucking magical weapon or something like that, you know? She jumped over a castle. You know what? You're right. Marvel's too woke. They got women jumping over castles. Ah! She jumped over the moon. Dude. Fuck, you're right. She did. She jumped over the moon. Now that I think about it. She took Dogecoin to the moon and then jumped back down. Sword was just a regular sword. Yeah, I agree. Which is kind of lame. I wish it was something doper. Oh my god. You guys are so wild. Yeah, exactly. RF Gaming says the sword was in Red Skull's castle with the Tesseract. Yeah, damn right it's more. For sure. Dude, that was a Mary Sue castle. Now that I think about it, that castle was a Mary Sue. I mean, what merit do we even know that castle has? It seemed to me that that castle just popped up and was just a good castle with no explanation whatsoever, and it didn't even earn the fortified status that it was presented to have in the episode. I can't believe it. Yeah, it's animation. Everything will be exaggerated. I actually agree with that. Like, in animation, things do tend to be exaggerated, but I don't think it's a one-for-one. Like, you can't, like, take that and just be like, okay, this is exactly the physics of the physical universe, and therefore we can draw all these lines of comparison and things like that. Yeah. Dude, such a weak-ass castle. I know, right? Dude, those walls hold shit up without even learning how. I agree. I love Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher. Yeah, man, I thought he was great. He's got such a good voice, dude. Such a good voice. Josh, two things. The castle looked like a Disney castle, and two, they pulled Peggy out of history so she didn't change man's place in society and the woman's movement. Yeah? They pulled Peggy out of history so she didn't change man's place in society. I'm not sure I understand your point there. Bitch, that's Peggy's castle now. I know, right? Sorry, Mike. I might not be getting it. The castle did kind of look like a Disney castle, though. I mean, with jokes like, who ordered the calamari? I mean, come on. Who ordered the calamari? Sebastian Stan. Andre, I don't know, bro. YouTube's been weird this week, bro. And late last week, too. How did Peggy get to 2012? That's a great question. It would seem like what we're presented with is wherever she went, and here's probably the explanation, is that wherever she went was actually outside of reality because she's fighting one of the many angled ones, right? And so whatever that universe was or wherever she went into where it was summoned from was likely sort of outside of time, much like the TVA probably. That's probably the explanation. Who are you supposed to be? The Queen of England? Yeah, for sure. Dude, fucking Bucky's lines in this were so funny. Like, they were horrible. But for whatever reason, I just thought it was so funny. Like, I imagined Sebastian Stan just having a blast saying all that stuff. So confirmed many angled ones? I mean, I don't know if confirmed is the way I would say it, but it seems to imply that that's what it is, right? That's what I think is implied. Yeah, she's probably only there for like a couple of minutes or like at most an hour fighting. You know what I mean? And then boom, she gets zapped back. What if she's only there for a couple seconds? You know what I mean? She's just like slicey McSlicing, like and then bam, she gets pulled back. She had wrinkles? Dude, get out of town. I'm gonna check that out at the end. I don't see no wrinkles. What the hell are you talking about, bro? I don't see no wrinkles. You're crazy. No, she looks like the exact same to me. She's a wrinkly old lady. Nah, bro. What if Loki is actually the one that joins the Avengers in the Captain Carter universe? Hey, that's possible. I'd be into that. That'd be fun. The lines were cheesier in the intro to Age of Ultron. Yeah, that's true. Language. Yeah. Do you think Hydra was still have a Winter Soldier on Peggy Carter's Earth? I don't know. That's a good question. I dig you, bro. I'm a fanboy of your chat. Hey, thanks so much. Appreciate that. That would be wise to do that, though. Counteract the aging she'll go through in real life. Actually, that would be pretty smart. You know what, though? Haley Atwell still looks incredible. I don't even know how much older she is. I don't know how old she is, but dude, that's the other part of this that I think is really cool for me is like, I'm a big fan of Haley Atwell. Like, first of all, she's a total babe. But I felt like the charisma that she brings to that role in the first movie was great. It was really good. And then the elements of her older, like, dude, she knocked that performance out of the fucking park. As like old ass Haley Atwell, Peggy Carter. Thought that was fantastic. So, she's great. And having her back and the potential of having her in live action as well, again, is cute. I wanted them to make Steve Rogers the Winter Soldier. Yeah, well, I mean, technically they still could, right? We don't know how they get out of that castle. You know? She's a babe even in animation. For sure. Does this mean Tony never becomes Iron Man in Captain Carter's universe? I think that's the truth. I think he will not become Iron Man. Yeah. Yeah. DC finally has an animation competitor. Yeah, DC Animation's great. They've been doing a great job with that kind of stuff. But I think that the thing that they won't be able to do is connect it to their shared universe, because their shared universe is a fucking mess, right? Marvel can use what they've done with the MCU to leverage this show having even more fun, cool stuff. So, yeah. She's had a good Botox? Probably. Probably has. For a second, I did think that Steve was going to be the Winter Soldier. Yeah, I kind of thought so as well. That would have been kind of fun. Nick Fury opens the portal independent of the Red Skull. This is true, he does. Can we say they have shared universe at this point? That's true. We don't even know, right? We don't even... Yeah. I don't know. DC Animation is still way ahead. It's a good start, though. I mean, I don't know. DC Animation, I get, like, it kind of depends on where you're standing. Like, it's definitely good stuff. Like that, I love that Bruce Timm stuff, and they've done a lot of fun, even what if stuff in their animation, right? Like Red Sun, the Darwin Cook stuff. They've done a lot of cool stuff with Marvel Animation, or with DC Animation. Marvel's done great stuff too, like Avengers Mightiest Heroes, you know, the Ultimate Spider-Man stuff, and of course the old 90s stuff as well. Marvel's had great animation stuff in the past, so. Yo, chill. One episode of What If does not make a competitor with DC Animation. Yeah, so I'm going to... Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying, and nope, single episode is all I need to make the call now, and R.I.P. DC. DC Animation, second-rate animation now. You know, it's like, I want What If. No, we've got What If at home. What If at home? Shitty-ass DC Animation. That's where I'm at with it. JK. But love you, Josh, and I'm still with the F Warner Brothers. Yeah, F Warner Brothers for sure. That's actually true, Moss. That's a great point. They did build this whole empire on top of animation. Why did I even think about that? The last 3 DC movies are far better and beyond this. It's just a good start, and Marvel hasn't really done anything. Those anime things are smack my head bad. Oh man. I get you, Mike. I get you, bro. I understand. And the Long Halloween was fantastic. Dude, DC Animation, I'll say this. DC Animation, especially some of those projects, it's prolific. Like the Flashpoint movie they did, I recommend that to anybody that's interested in DC. You know, you don't like cartoons? Shut your mouth and watch this, and then tell me you don't like cartoons. That movie's fantastic, right? I think All-Star Superman is an incredible adaptation of one of the best Superman stories ever told. It's fantastic. Dark Knight Returns, Part 1 and Part 2. Dude, it's like must-watch Batman stuff. It is incredible. So yeah, with that kind of stuff in mind, one singular episode of What If does not really touch that dopeness. I can agree with that. I woke up early to watch that, so it makes the MCU woke. That's true. If you woke up for it, I guess it is a little woke, huh? Damn. The animation was fantastic, and this is all totally going to be canon. I am ready, says Courtney. I am ready as well. Man of Tomorrow, Wonder Woman 2, Justice Society, and the Long Halloween Part 1, Part 2 all seem in the same continuity. The story of the animated movies are great, but the animation style is not up there. Oh, shots fired from Stormy. Shots fired. How many episodes of What If will it take? I mean, I need to see like 4 to 5 episodes before I can make a full call on like where I think this dopeness level will go. But guys, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that like at the end of What If, especially with that possibly tying into other stuff, that we just sit back and we're like, damn, dude, like, I did not see that shit coming. That is legitimately one of the coolest things ever, and it's in the coolest universe ever. And damn, this might be one of the most legit things. You know what I mean? Like, that could be the case. We could arrive at that place as a fandom. Way too early to tell, though. Way too early to tell. Didn't you say that you heard the first 3 weren't great? I heard the first 2 were not, like, they were... Certain types of fans didn't love the first 2 episodes, is what I was told. I was told the first 2 were like a little like, okay, we're getting into this sort of thing. 3 takes it in a really nice new direction. And then from there on out, I think it's going to go pretty wild. Not too early, says Carl. Confirmed? Question mark? I don't know if I would say confirmed. It's coming from a lot of different people, though. Feels like that's pretty reasonable for where we're headed. Probably just going to hang for like 10 more minutes, guys. If you got any questions, throw them into the chat. I'm down to clown, down to hang out. Grace Randolph was opposite with the episodes. Loved 1 and 2, less so 3. Yeah, I did see that as well. But, I mean, Grace is kind of weird with her... I mean, I think she does great work. I legitimately think she has great sources. I know everybody's like, Grace. No, I think she does good stuff. But I will say her actual taste when it comes to movies and films and stuff is not, it doesn't like really closely align with mine most of the time. Right? So take that for what you will. I feel like I aligned a little bit more with like Brandon Davis from comicbook.com. He said the first 2 were a little shaky and the third one was like really, really dope. So, yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, Henry Lee. I understand. Will you be covering Titans / tonight, tomorrow? Nah, bro, not really going to be covering Titans. With DC stuff, we really can only... cover the big things, you know what I mean? And honestly, like, our DC stuff just doesn't get the love that our other stuff does, so we got to kind of stick with like Marvel and Star Wars most of the time. That's what most of our audience likes. But Superman and Lois, however, I do want to get caught up on, and I'm very excited about that. I don't know if I've seen what Dan Merle says. Courtney, that's such an interesting question. I don't really watch Chris at all. I've never been really into his stuff. So no, I don't. I don't really watch him. Diamond today, motherfuckers. What it do? Hijack Man, Tex Venger. Welcome to the Diamond tier. Welcome to the Diamond Lounge, my friend. I want to do a Diamond stream sometime this week. I don't think I can do it today. I'm trying to pull some other stuff together. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe this weekend or something. I want to do a Diamond members stream soon. We'll hang out in the Diamond tier lounge. I'll crack like a bottle of wine or a bunch of beer. I'd start to get tipsy and spill my fucking guts to you guys. One of my favorite... this is so random. This is how my brain works. I was just reminded of a crazy moment from one of my favorite movies, being John Malkovich, where the dude's boss is like talking about his like love of the secretary chick or whatever, and he's like, "Come tonight and have a drink with me, and I'll spill my goddamn guts for you." It's just like the way he said it was so funny, but yeah. Haven't seen a single member win a gamble yet. Show you how it's done. Show you how it's done real quick. I'll show you how to do the gambling right. Here we go. Gamble. What should we do? 5,000? Gamble 5,000. Here we go. Show you how it's done real quick. Oh, nobody wins the gambling. Oh, nobody wins the gambling. Let's see. See how we're rolling. What the fuck? Dude, shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. It's rigged. It doesn't make sense. Nobody wins. Nobody wins. It's... Damn it. Shut it down. Chet, take it out. Take it. Shut it down. Change it. Change it up. Yeah, I don't know. Gambling might be busted, or maybe we're all just really unlucky today. I don't know. What, Jensen Baker? Come on, man. What are you talking about? I notice. I notice you. I notice you. Somebody just won. Nice. Somebody just won. You got to roll a 76 or higher, so you got to be rolling hot. Sometimes we make it so you got to roll 51 or higher. But, you know. Oh, hell nah. Oh, hell nah. Den of Candles. Let's go. Endo Prime says, longtime listener, first-time commenter. Thank you, Josh and the Nerd Vengers, for this portal from the void. Now, where's my boner coin? Love y'all and take my money. Hey, thank you so much. That's really kind of you. Boner coin, huh? Not in this universe, bro. Maybe in a different alternate reality. Maybe in a different what-if multiverse thing. You know? Hey, what's up, Nikki? I see you, Nikki. How you doing? Uh-oh, Nikki came in to gamble. She's just going to get furious about it and leave. I got your boner coin right here, baby. Oh, shit. Storm the Capitol. No! Oh, no. Nikki, a 7? Whew. Dang. Dang, girl. Don't go play the lotto today. Oh, my God, Carl. Oh, shit. See? F this place. No, Nikki, no. Nikki, no. See you later, Jensen. See? See, everybody notices, and loves you, Jensen Baker. Have a good day, man. Feel the love tonight. Uh-oh, now Trev's getting in on it. I want to see what Trev rolls, to be honest with you, and then we're probably going to get out of here. Scott rolled a 1. Ouch. Let's see here. 46, Trev. That's rough. Yo, DC Fandom's back in here. Yo, that shit was so funny. Last night, this dude signed up as a member and then starts, like, super chatting and just spamming the chat with, like, pro-DC, anti-Marvel stuff. I felt like it was hilarious. But, oh, does it have a time? Does it have a time thing? I'm going to end that poll, by the way. I want to do some really fun stuff for the Nerdcoin drop, hopefully tomorrow, but honestly, I might have to wait until next week, and I appreciate everybody's support on this, but I've got some really fun stuff I want to start dropping on the store, and I've got some cool plans and some discussions that we're having behind the scenes, so there will be we're going to drop some fun stuff in the store very soon. That's all I'm saying. And you know what? Oh, a 5-minute cooldown. Let's once again just take a peek at what I think is some really, really fun merch. And if you're loving What If, and you're loving the Den of Nerds coverage of What If, and you're going to be hanging out at all the watch parties and having a good old time, check out our Teespring store and get your exclusive watch party inspired, What If inspired merch inspired. Check it out. Check it out. And use your code to get 20% off if you're a Nerdventure member. Do it. Do it now. Give him the love. Oh, snap. 4,000? Kendall just made a big bet. Let's see what happens. I want to see what happens. No. Damn, dude. Dude, Kendall, what? Kendall just rolled a motherfucking 100 and just won 20,000 Nerdcoin. Wait, this isn't the merch. This is the song. There's the merch. Dude, what? Damn. Because if you roll a 99 or 100, you get 5 times the coin that you gambled. Damn. That shit's wild. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, everybody, I'm going to get on out of here. Hey, 23K, baby. Nice. You You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for the support, the love. And yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Check out the video on the main channel if you have not yet. I think it's a really fun video. It goes over like just like early in the morning sort of reactions of what if. So definitely check that out. We'll be doing other videos. Maybe if there's some crazy stuff pop off today. If not, more videos coming out tomorrow. I'll be on Normies to Nerds tonight at 7 p.m. hanging out with Kendall, talking about that 100 he just rolled. And what the fuck, chat? Thank you. Yeah, so take care, guys. Appreciate your love. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Yes. DC coming hard. Oh my god. You know, all I'll say is that it's cool to be into the show, and it's fun to be having fun and just hanging out. And you know what? I'll say this too. For the real ones that are hanging out to the end. Even though the views on videos this week haven't been like crazy, right? I mean, frankly, I don't think the internet is wildly accepting as what if in the same way that I am. Even though that has been a reality, I've been really putting just a little bit extra effort and just a little bit extra love into the videos, the edit, the content. And there's this thing happening where even though it's not like blowing up, I feel good about the direction we're headed in with the content, the little things that will change over time. And like, honestly, like, I just feel like we're putting out better quality stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm in a good vibe. I'm in a good place. I'm feeling good. And I'm ready to get back to work. So thank you guys. And I'll see you soon. Ta-ta for now.